I'm Richard Clarke. Ramana Maharshi's teachings are deep and profound. Watch each day to deepen your practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 473, Part 2. Another devotee. What then is the mind? Maharshi. Mind is consciousness which is put on limitations. You are originally unlimited and perfect. Later, you take on limitations and become the mind. Questioner. It is avarana, veiling, then. How does this happen? Maharshi, to whom is the avarana? It is the same as avidya, ignorance, ego, or the mind. Questioner, avarana means obscuration. Who is obscured? How does it arise? Maharshi, the limitation is itself obscuration. No questions will arise if limitations are transcended. In this dialogue, the questioner is trying to understand the nature of the mind and the process of obscuration, which is referred to as avarana. Sri Ramana Maharshi explains that the mind is essentially consciousness that has taken on limitations. In its true nature, consciousness is unlimited and perfect, but through identification with the ego and the body, it becomes limited and functions as the mind. The questioner recognizes this as avarana, a Sanskrit word for veiling or obscuration, and seeks to understand how this process occurs. In the context of Advaita Vedanta, avarana refers to the process by which the true nature of the self, pure, unlimited consciousness, is obscured or hidden from awareness. This veiling creates the illusion of separateness, leading you to identify with the ego, body, and mind, rather than recognizing your true infinite self. In essence, avarana is the ignorance or delusion that prevents you from seeing the reality of your own nature. It causes you to experience duality and the limitations of the mind, leading to the cycle of suffering and misunderstanding of who you really are. The Maharshi responds by asking to whom this veiling happens. This is a crucial point in his teachings. By posing this question, the Maharshi is directing the questioner to look within and inquire into the true nature of the self. The veiling doesn't occur to the pure consciousness, which is always unlimited. It only seems to occur when there is identification with the ego, or the limited mind. When the questioner asks who is obscured and how this obscuration arises, the Maharshi replies that the limitation itself is the obscuration. This means that the moment you identify with the limitations of the body, mind, or ego, you obscure your true nature. The limitations create a false sense of separation from your true self. leading to the experience of duality and suffering. Self-inquiry removes this obscuration by self-knowledge. You know yourself then as the unbounded reality. The Maharshi's teachings here emphasizes that questions about the nature of obscuration in the mind only arise when you're identified with these limitations. If you transcend these limitations through self-inquiry, self-knowledge, and the realization of your true nature as consciousness, such questions cease to exist. In other words, the mind and its limitations dissolve when you realize the self, which is beyond all these imagined limitations. This dialogue illustrates the core of the Maharshi's teachings. The mind is not the ultimate reality, but a limited manifestation of consciousness. By inquiring into the nature of the self and realizing your true, unlimited nature, the veiling of the mind is removed, and you experience and know the peace and freedom of your true self. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 verses on reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.